criminal justice system, Torah-based offenses are considered especially heinous. In Roslyn, New York, the dedicated detectives who investigate these vicious felonies are members of an elite squad known as the Special Torah Unit. These are their stories.
Let's go roll the Torah.
Okay.
Rabbi, I was wondering something about Acharei Mot.
Yes?
Why don't we wait until several Shabbases before Pesach to actually read it?
Well, we don't really. We read it the Shabbat after Pesach. Saturday was the 8th day of Pesach. The next Shabbos is we read Acharei Mot.
Looks like the Torah is missing.
Where is it?
That's not good.
That's really not good.
I would even say it's bad.
Super bad.
Yes, Rabbi.
The Torah's missing!
What we got? It's a 613.
Torah's gone missing?
Affirmative. The rabbi and the member come to hold the Torah and the Torah was missing.
All right, thanks. We'll take it from here.
Let's see what the CSI has to tell us.
Okay. Hey, how's it going?
Officers, good morning.
Morning. What do you got for us?
Well, we've got a ton of fingerprints all over this place because obviously people are constantly taking Torahs out, opening the ark, etc.
All right, well, make sure to fingerprint everyone who was at Morning Minion this morning so we can see if we have any matches.
Of course. And also, we noticed some footprints out that door over there. Size 11, 12, matching someone who recently sustained a right foot injury.
Interesting, very interesting.
Yes.
Did you get anything from the cameras?
I have to go over that. My tech Miles is reviewing that now. I'll check with him and get back to you shortly.
All right, great. So be in touch if you find anything else.
Of course. We have no footage in the sanctuary at that time? Oh my god. Wow, that is an excellent point.
Mrs. Zellman?
Yes.
Can you tell us who was at Minion this morning?
Well, there were the regulars. There was Bob Kagan, Arlene Kagan, Steve Moss, Bob Sampson, of course, May Liss. There was the rabbi and the chazan, and Rich Cohen, Steve Goldstein, and Rob.
And did everyone stay for breakfast?
Well, Rob and Steve Goldstein had to go to work, so they left.
You mentioned Rob and Steve Goldstein. Do either of these people walk with a limp?
Well, Rob does, a slight limp. But he would never do this. He's such a kind, caring, wonderful person and friend. He's the first one to be up on the dance floor during a simcha, and the shoulder that you cry on in sad times. He would never do this.
Well, thank you so much for speaking to us, and please be in touch if you hear anything else.
I will. Good luck.
Rabbi Cohen, we're from the JTS STU. Can you tell us a little bit more about what happened this morning?
Well, we went into the sanctuary to get the Sefer Torah, and it was just gone. No one could explain it.
Did you notice anyone acting suspicious during Minyan?
They all act suspicious during Minyan. Mostly they just come for the breakfast, but occasionally there's someone who's there to daven, and those people are really strange. They're all suspicious.
Is there anything in particular you can tell us about this Torah, the size of it, the parucha, anything?
Well, it was an average Torah. It was about, average size, normal shape, regular thickness. It had a nice, cover on it. It looked like your average Sefer Torah. There was nothing extraordinary about it at all.
And what can you tell us about a Rob Hirsch?
Is he one of your suspects?
I can't disclose that at this moment.
He's a good guy. He's honest. He's forthright. He's intelligent. Has a heart of gold. I can't imagine that he would steal a Sefer Torah from the synagogue. Although he owns a Megillah. Maybe he wants to own a Torah too, but he wouldn't steal it. He would just buy one, or maybe he'd get them to honor him at a special dinner of some sort and give him a Sefer Torah as a gift.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much for your time, Rabbi.
Well, we had minyan, and then after minyan, we went into the breakfast room, and then I went to the rabbi and I said, Rabbi, let's roll the Torah. And then we walked to the sanctuary. I then walked up to the ark. I opened up the ark, and the Torah was missing, and then Ruth Zellman just started screaming.
Did you notice anything out of the ordinary this morning?
Well, no, they were just the usual, unusual people at minyan.
Mm. And when was the last time this ark was opened?
I think it was Shabbat for Musaf, and then we put the Torahs back, and then we closed the ark.
Could the Torah be in a different ark in the building?
No.
Okay, thank you so much.
Still no answer on his cell. You got anything from the office?
Well, I spoke to a woman at Tia, his assistant, and she said that he's traveling today between the Brooklyn and the Nyack offices, so we're better off reaching him on his cell, so I don't know.
I really hope the wife can tell us some more about this Mr. Hirsch.
Agreed.
Hello, can I help you?
Hi, are you Mrs. Hirsch?
Dr. Hirsch?
I'm sorry about that, Dr. Hirsch. Hi, we're here from the JTSPD, the STU.
I'm really not interested.
I'm sorry, we're investigating a crime. Unfortunately, a Torah has gone missing from the Shelter Rock Jewish Center, and we'd really appreciate it if we could talk to you for a few minutes.
I don't have time for this right now. I don't know anything about this. Do you have a warrant?
No, ma'am, we don't have a warrant, but it would be really helpful.
Good day!
Come in.
Captain, Assistant District Attorney Leon, good to see you both.
Yeah, detectives, what do you have for me?
Well, it's a tough case. We have a primary suspect, fits the profile completely. He's the former president, he loves Torah, he reads in shul almost every Shabbos, he hosts a Talmud study group at his house weekly, and the CSI found footprints leading away from the shul. And because it matched the guy's foot size, and he had a foot injury recently that we can tell from the footprints, the guy who stole the Torah also had.
Yeah, Investigator Miles here told me that, so why don't you bring him in?
Well, the thing is, we're not really sure we have enough hard evidence to make the case. He was last seen at the shul before the crime, but no one can place him at the exact time of the crime, and security footage cuts out exactly at that time.
You said he was married. What about the wife?
She won't let us talk to her.
Well, we'll figure out how to make her talk. I hear Miles here. He's got a real
There you go.
way about him getting people to
Write this down.
convince people to talk. Write this down, Miles. Thank you.
And I'll start working on a warrant. We can try offering him a deal if he confesses and brings the Torah in unharmed.
We'll get on that straight away and we'll be in touch. Captain? DA? Oh, Miles? Oh, yeah, thank you. That's important. Mrs. Cohen, according to our sources, you're quite close with our prime suspect.
We were hoping you could tell us a little bit about this Rob Hirsch.
Rob? He's the kindest and most compassionate person I know. For Rob, it's all about communal living. It's about community. He's the one you go to if you need a pickup at the airport, at the gas station, if you need a pickup in Wingdale, New York. He's also someone who's good to talk out problems, to get a different point of view on things. Truthfully, Rob is the second best father that my children have. I don't know where you're going with this.
Well, I see you have a lot of nice things to say about Mr. Hirsch, but is there anyone else who's close to him who might have some light to shed on why he might have done this?
You know, he did mention he needed something notarized. I know he and Gary Zellman talk every day. Why don't you check with him?
Mr. Zellman, according to Mrs. Cohen, you and our suspect, Mr. Hirsch, speak every day.
Did you speak to him this morning?
Yes, I did speak to him this morning on my way to work.
Was it after Minion?
It was after Minion. We did speak after Minion today.
And did he mention anything out of the ordinary to you in this conversation today?
No, our conversations every day are really not that we talk about the same things, but we always cover the same topics. We talk about his children, we talk about my children. He's always listening very intently. He cares about all of us, he cares about my family, he cares about all of his friends. He cares about his shul friends, and he cares about the shul. Sometimes we discuss what's going on at the shul. So we've both been president. You know, his usual compassion, his usual caring about me. We discussed our grandchildren. I was telling him about my granddaughter and Passover and the Seder and what she did at the Seder. And he was talking to me about Miles and how excited he is that before you know it, Miles will be old enough to teach him how to read Torah. And that's a great thing because Rob is such a great Torah reader that he really wants to pass that on, as he did to his children, to his grandchildren. And he's looking forward to that, but he just was complaining because he said he doesn't have a Torah and he doesn't know what to do about that. And he doesn't know how he's going to teach him Torah reading without a Torah. And as a matter of fact, he mentioned something about being away for a few days, and he also asked me if he could borrow his suitcase. Oh, but you know what? That doesn't matter because it's irrelevant. He told me that Sarah, his daughter Sarah, was moving to Chicago and he had a lot of clothing and a lot of her stuff to bring. So that's why he needed the suitcase. It had nothing to do with this. If Rob was to do anything with a Torah, he would be donating a Torah to Shelter Rock Jewish Center.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Dr. Hirsch, thank you so much for sitting down with us now. And by the way, you have a beautiful home.
Why, thank you. What can I do to help you?
Well, we are hoping you could tell us a little bit about your husband.
My husband? I thought this was about a Torah. What do you need to know about my husband?
Well, ma'am, at this time, he's unfortunately our primary suspect, and so any light that you can shed, anything you can tell him about us would really be helpful in our investigation.
Rob? My Rob is your primary suspect? You've got to be kidding me. There's no way Rob would ever take a Torah. You've got to be kidding. Rob is devoted to the Shelter Rock Jewish Center. He served as president for 2 years. He's devoted to Jewish causes. He was president of Ramah in the Berkshires for 5 years. He's on the national board of Ramah. He even developed synagogue software, Haverware, the gold standard in synagogue software. The man is devoted to Torah and Judaism. He's a devoted parent. He's a devoted grandparent, and not to mention a wonderful husband. You have the wrong guy.
So, can you tell us, does he spend a lot of time at the shul?
Of course he does. He goes to Minyan whenever he can, morning and night, and every Shabbos he reads Torah. He's constantly at shul. And let me tell you, those meetings sometimes don't get me started.
Well, has anything been different with him recently? Has he been having issues with anyone at the shul? Perhaps his successor, the president, Mr. Schlefstein?
Absolutely not. He and Jeff are very tight and very close, and he's been a very good advisor to him. He very much believes in transition. Whenever Jeff Schlesting calls, Rob is right there to help, no matter what.
Well, really, if there's anything else that you...
Oh, here he is right now. Oh. Perhaps he can clear it up for us. Hello, Rob? Uh-huh. You're going to be home late because you're going to a Shiva Minyan? Oh, you have the Torah? You took the Torah this morning to bring to Shiva? Rob, hon, next time, please make sure you tell the rabbi. You did tell the rabbi.
Another case closed.
On the bright side, I got to listen to some pretty sweet hold music.
Lucky you.
Yeah, I was like, da-da-da-da-da-da-da.